Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture series in linear algebra. Today we are going to talk about linear independence of vectors. So let us take the definition of linear independent sets and linear dependent sets. Okay. First about the linear independent set. Okay. So an indexed set of vectors v1, v2, vp in Rn. Okay. So each of these vectors are in Rn. That means v1 is a column vector with n elements. Okay. v2 is a column vector with n elements and so on. vp is a column vector with n elements. So an index set of vectors in Rn is said to be linearly independent if the vector equation x1 v1 plus x2 v2 plus so on plus xp vp equal to 0 has only the trivial solution. Okay, so you see the left hand side is the linear combination of these vectors. Okay, and it is equated to 0, so it is a vector equation. And it says that these vectors will be linearly independent if this vector equation has only trivial solution. So you can see that this vector equation is basically a homogeneous system of equations. Okay, with the v1 v2 vp in Rn. So each vector is having n elements. Okay, so it's a system of equation and it is homogeneous. And for a homogeneous system, uh, either you have a unique solution which is a trivial solution, or you have infinite many solution, and the system is always consistent. Okay, so because the system is consistent, and if it has only unique solution which is the trivial solution, which means x1 x2 xp are all 0 is the only solution which satisfies this equation, then the vector v1 v2 vp, they are said to form a linearly independent set. Okay, and on the other hand, the set of vectors v1 v2 vp is said to be linearly dependent if there exist weights c1 c2 cp not all 0 such that this equation holds. Okay, so it is the similar equation, okay, but written with weight c1 c2 cp not all 0. Okay, so that means if this homogeneous system of equations is satisfied for at least one non-zero constant, or uh, simply saying that if this homogeneous system of equation is satisfied for a non-trivial solution, then the vectors v1 v2 vp, they form a linearly dependent set. Okay, further, if we write the vector equation in matrix form, okay, so as I said, this forms a homogeneous system of equation which is always consistent. Okay, with A is the matrix of the vectors v1 v2 vp, and then the columns of the matrix A are linearly independent if and only if the homogeneous equation has only trivial solution. Okay, so this system is having only trivial solution means linearly independent vectors. Okay, so it is the same thing in matrix form, that these vectors or this matrix forms a uh, uh, having vectors as linearly independent if uh, the corresponding homogeneous system has only trivial solution. So now when will a homogeneous system have a trivial solution? Okay, so if you remember that if we solve a homogeneous system, and it will end up with a trivial solution only if the corresponding augmented matrix have no free variable, or all the columns of the matrix are pivot columns, so there is no non pivot column in the matrix. Okay, so if you reduce the augmented matrix which is a0 inside a single matrix, and reduce it to equivalent form, then all the columns of the A, okay, they should be pivot columns. If they are all pivot columns, then it will have only trivial solution, and the vectors will become linearly independent. If you get any one of the column as non-pivot column, then it will have infinite solution, because the linked variable will be a free variable, and the homogeneous system will have non-zero solutions. Okay, so this set of vectors will become linearly dependent. Okay, uh, say for example, let we have these three vectors v1, v2 and v3. Each vector has three elements, so these vectors v1, v2, v3, they belong to R3 space. Okay, determine if the set of vectors v1, v2, v3 is linearly independent or dependent. Okay, if dependent, find the relation between the vectors v1, v2, v3. So now if we have to check whether they are independent or dependent set of vectors, then we have to solve the corresponding homogeneous equation. Okay, so we need to solve the vector equation c1 v1 plus c2 v2 plus c3 v3 equal to 0, and to find its solution. If its solution is the unique solution, that means only the trivial solution c1 0, c2 0 and c3 0 only satisfies this, then these three vectors are linearly independent. If you can find a non-zero constant such that this equation holds, then the vectors become linearly dependent. Okay, so we know how to solve this. Okay, we can write the augmented matrix with the A matrix and 0 matrix, where A matrix contains the vectors v1, v2, v3 as the columns, and 0 is the right hand side. Okay, so the augmented matrix K A0 is the column matrix of v1, v2, v3. So v1 is 1 2 3, v2 is 4 5 6, you see, v3 is 2 1 0. Okay, and the right hand side 0 vector is the 0 0 0 of R3. Okay, so now we know how to solve this augmented matrix. We have to apply row operations and reduce it to echelon form. Okay, so we start with the first row, first element. See, this becomes the leading element. Okay, use this leading element to make the element at 2 1 position and element at 3 1 position 0. Okay, so apply row 2 minus row 1, impact on row 2. Okay, so 2 minus 2 we have to make 0, so row 2 minus 2 times row 1. Okay, similarly apply row 3 minus 3 times row 1, impact on row 3. Okay, so row 2 minus 2 times row 1, impact on row 2. This will reduce this element to 0. And row 3 minus 3 row 1, impact on row 3. So to make this element 0. Okay, and the corresponding elements in second and third row will change due to this. Okay, there is no transformation on first row, so first row remains first row. Okay, so 2 minus 2 0, 5 minus 2 times 4, so 5 minus 8 is minus 3, 1 minus 4 is minus 3, and 0 minus 2 times 0 is 0. Okay, 3 minus 3 is 0, 6 minus 3 times 4 12, so minus 6, and 0 minus 3 times 2, so minus 6. Okay, now in the second row this 2 2 position becomes the leading element, so use this, make this 3 2 position, that is this minus 6 element, make this 0. Okay, so apply row 3 minus 2 times row 2. Okay, and impact on row 3. So first and second row will not change now, these remain same, and third row becomes third row minus 2 times this. Okay, so both these elements become simultaneously 0. Okay, so third row is now 0 0 0 0. Okay. Clearly the system is consistent. Okay, and it's a homogeneous system, always consistent. And now you can see what are the pivot positions, pivot columns and non-pivot columns. So you have a pivot position here, you have a pivot position at 2 2. Okay, and no other pivot position. So first and second column are pivot column, and third column is a non-pivot column. So this column is linked to a variable which is a free variable. Okay, so third column is linked to C3 variable. So C3 variable is free variable, and C1 and C2 variables are basic variables. Okay, so clearly now this homogeneous system, because there is a free variable or non-pivot column, so definitely this system is linearly dependent. Okay, and we can find the dependence relation by calculating C1 and C2 in terms of the free variable C3. Okay, we can further reduce it to reduced echelon form. Okay, so now for now the third column is a free column, and linked variable will be a free variable which can take any value, and hence the vectors are linearly dependent. Okay, and now if you have to find relation, so reduce it further. Okay, uh, we have to reduce it to reduced echelon form. That means the pivot elements, which is we need to make them 1 1. So this is already 1, we have to make this 1, and pivot elements are the only non-zero elements in column, so we have to reduce this element to 0. Okay, So divide second row with minus 3 to make this 1. Okay, so divide second row with minus 1 by 3, impact on second row, so this row becomes 1 1 0 here. And so use this element and make this 1 2 position element as 0. Okay, so apply row 1 minus 4 times row 2, impact on row 1. Okay, so this element becomes 0, and correspondingly this element changed. Okay, so now we have this as a reduced equivalent form. So immediately we can have the C1 in terms of C3 and C2 in terms of C3. Okay, so first equation says that C1 minus 2 C3 is 0, and second equation says C2 plus C3 equals to 0. So we can solve this to find C1 equals to 2 C3 and C2 is equal to minus C3, and C3 is a free variable because this column is a non-pivot column. Okay, so now you can choose any value of C3, non-zero value, say you choose 1 or 2 3 minus 1 minus 2, whatever. Okay, correspondingly you will get C1 and C2, and then you can substitute it in the original equation to find a linearly dependent relation. Okay, so here I am using C3 as 1, so that C2 is minus 1 and C1 is 2. So the original equation, which was C1 V1 plus C2 V2 plus C3 V3 equal to 0, becomes C1 value 2, C2 value minus 1 when C3 is 1. Okay, so this becomes the relation between the three variables, which clearly suggests that the vectors are linearly dependent vectors. Okay, okay. So now few results on linear independence of vectors. Okay, a set containing only one vector, say V. Okay, so say V is the only single vector which forms a set. Okay, and this is linearly independent if and only if V is a non V is not a zero vector. Okay, so V is a non-zero vector, then the set will be linearly independent if it is the set of only single vector. This is because the vector equation that will be satisfied will be CV equal to 0. Okay, and this will imply that it will have only trivial solution C0 when V is non-zero. If V is 0, then any value of C can satisfy this equation, and so set will become dependent set. Okay, so a single vector set will be linearly independent if and only if the vector itself is a non-zero vector. Okay, second, if the set of vectors v1 v2 vp contains the zero vector, then the set is linearly dependent set. Okay, so if you have a set of vectors and one of the vector is zero vector in that, then set is definitely a linearly dependent set. So for linear independent sets, the zero vector should not be there in the set. Okay, the reason is simple, that if we renumber these vectors such that we suppose that the first vector is the zero vector, then the vector equation can be written as this. Okay, with 1 times v1 plus 0 times v2 plus so on 0 times vp equals to 0, and this equation is satisfied for a non-zero constant. Okay, so definition says that at least one non-zero constant should satisfy this. Okay, with all other constants 0, but first linked with the zero vector, the constant, we can take a non-zero constant. So since this equation is satisfied with weights not all 0, and so it clearly shows that the set is a linearly dependent set. Okay, so remember that if you are given a set, then it will be for it to be linearly independent, it should not have a zero vector. Okay, and not having a zero vector does not mean it's a linearly independent set. You have to check it further for linear independence. Okay, third, a set of two vectors v1 and v2 is linearly dependent if at least one of the vector is a multiple of other. Okay, if v2 is a multiple of v1, then the set is dependent set. If v1 is a multiple of v2, the set is dependent set. Okay, so if at least one of the vector is a multiple of other, then the set is a linearly dependent set. Okay. Okay, so now we take this theorem, which is characterization of linearly dependent sets, and it says that an index set S of vectors v1, v2, vp of two or more vectors is linearly dependent if and only if at least one of the vectors in S is a linear combination of the others. Okay, so there is a if and only if, that means the result is true both sides. Okay, if this set is linearly dependent, then at least one of the vectors can be written as a linear combination of others, or converse is also true, that if at least one of the vectors is a linear combination of other, then the set is a linearly dependent set. Okay, and clearly see this definition says that if it's a linearly dependent set, then it doesn't mean that every vector is a combination of other. Okay, it simply says that if at least one of the vector is a linear combination of other. Okay, in fact, if S is linearly dependent set, okay, so it's one side that if it's a linearly dependent set, and if the first vector is non-zero, okay, then some vector vj with j greater than 1, okay, so then there is a vector other than the first vector which is a linear combination of the preceding vectors v1, v2, vj minus 1. Okay, so there is at least one vector at some position which is a linear combination of all the preceding vectors to that position. Okay, so vjth vector is a linear combination of first vector to j minus first vector. Okay, so we'll prove this result. Okay, so let us first take that there is at least one vector in the set S which is a linear combination of the other vectors. Okay, so let Vj be a linear combination of other vectors, then clearly we can write Vj as linear combination of all other vectors. So Vj can be written as C1 V1 plus C2 V2 plus so on Cp Vp, and then we can take this Vj vector to other side of equation to rewrite this equation as minus 1 times Vj plus C1 V1 plus C2 V2 plus so on Cp Vp equal to 0. Okay, so just take this to other side, so left hand side becomes 0 vector, this, and this Vj when goes to other side become minus of Vj, so we can write it as minus 1 Vj. So clearly you can see that this set of this equation is satisfied for at least one non-zero weight. Okay, even if other weights are 0, this weight is non-zero, so homogeneous equation is satisfied for a non-trivial solution, and which means that the vectors v1, v2, vp, they are linearly dependent by the definition of linearly dependent sets. Okay, so clearly S is a linearly dependent set, so this is one side of the proof. Now for the other side, we let S be, this set S be a linearly dependent set. Okay, and we'll prove that there is at least one vector which is a linear combination of other vectors, and in fact it's a linear combination of the preceding vectors. Okay, so let us suppose that S is a linearly dependent set. Okay, and so if the first vector is 0, okay, v1 is 0, then it is a trivial linear combination of the other vectors in S. Okay, because we know that we can now write the uh, c1 v1 plus c2 v2 plus so on cn cp vp equal to 0 with c1 non-zero, because v1 is 0, so c1 v1 with c1 non-zero can easily satisfy the equation. So definitely uh, it is a linear combination. Okay, so the other wise if v1 is non-zero, okay, the first vector is non-zero, then there exist weights c1, c2, cp not all 0 such that this equation is satisfied, because the set is linearly dependent, and so by definition of linearly dependent sets there exist weights not all 0 such that this homogeneous equation is satisfied. Okay, and uh, since all the weights are not all 0, so some of them may be 0. Okay, so let j be the largest index. Okay, so let j be the largest subscript for which cj is non-zero. Okay, so maybe this last constant is constant or weight is 0, then previous is 0, then previous is 0, but there will be at least one largest cj for j being the largest subscript for the which this weight is non-zero, okay, because there is at least one non-zero weight, okay. So now I'll prove that j cannot be 1, okay. So for j is equal to 1 means c1 is non-zero and 1 is the largest subscript, that means c2 c3 cp are all 0. So this equation is immediately reduced to c1 v1 equal to 0, okay, because for we are saying that j is the largest subscript for which this is non-zero. So if j is 1, that means c1 is the largest non-zero weight with 1, so that means c1 is the only non-zero constant or weight. So this equation reduces to this, but this is not possible because v1 is non-zero, okay, and if v1 is non-zero and c1 is non-zero, then this equal to 0 is not possible, okay. So this means that j has to be strictly greater than 1, okay, and if j is strictly greater than 1, we can rewrite this left hand side as c1 v1 plus c2 v2 plus so on cj vj plus the weights after this are all 0 because cj is the non-zero with j largest subscript. So cj is the largest subscript with j which is non-zero weight, okay. After this all weights are 0, okay, and these numbers are 0, okay, 0 times this, 0 times this, okay. So this equation can be written as cj vj with all other vectors going to other side, so minus c1 v1 minus c2 v2 minus so on minus cj minus 1 vj minus 1, and because cj is a non-zero number, so we can divide with cj and we can write vj as minus c1 by cj v1 plus minus c2 by cj v2 plus so on minus cj minus 1 by cj vj minus 1. So clearly vj is a linear combination of the preceding vectors v1 v2 and vj minus 1, okay. So this is the proof of other side that if the set is a linearly dependent set, then there is at least one vector vj which is the linear combination of preceding vectors v1 v2 vj minus 1, okay. Now we take one more small result here that if a set contains more vectors than there are entries in each vector, okay, then the set is linearly dependent, okay. So say you have two vectors in R or you have three vectors in R2, okay. So that means if I take v1 is a vector in R2 and v2 is a vector in R2 and v3 is a vector in R2, so that means there are more vectors than entries in each vector, because if v1 is a vector in R2, then v1 will contain only two entries, okay. v2 is a vector in R2, so v2 will have only two entries. So if I take three vectors in R2 space, then the set of those three vectors must be linearly dependent, okay. In general, that any set v1 v2 vp in Rn, okay, so that means v1 is a vector with n elements, okay, n entries, v2 is a vector with n entries, vp is a vector with n entries. So this set will be linearly dependent if the number of vectors which are p is greater than the entries in vector n, okay, if p is greater than n, okay. The proof is simple, that a be the matrix of the vectors v1 v2 vp, okay, and the vectors v1 v2 vp are in Rn space. That simply means v1 has n entries, v2 has n entries, vp has n entries. That means a is a matrix with n rows and p columns, okay. So a is a n cross p matrix, and the equation which is the homogeneous equation correspond to a system of n equations and p unknowns, okay, because there are n rows, okay, and if we write ax is equal to 0, so x vector will have same as p elements because they are p columns. So ax is equal to 0 corresponds to n equations with p unknowns, okay. Now if p is greater than n, okay, if the number of unknowns are greater than the number of equations, okay, that means there are more variables than equations, so there must be a free variable if you reduce it to equivalent form, okay, right. It is clearly if you have three variables and only two equations, then you can only get two pivot position and third column will become free column. Okay, so similarly if you have p greater than n, more column than rows, then each row can get one pivot position and each column can get one pivot column. So there will be at least one free column which will not be a pivot column. Okay, so clearly there will be free variable, and if there is a free variable, then the homogeneous system will have a non-trivial solution, and if it has a non-trivial solution, then the set will become the linearly dependent set. Okay, so the homogeneous system has non-trivial solution, and so the columns of A are linearly dependent. Okay, and hence the vectors in Rn are linearly dependent if P is greater than n. Okay, that means if the number of vectors are more than the number of entries in each vector. Okay, let us take a example. Okay, and remember that this theorem do not say anything if the vectors does not exceed the number of entries in each vector. Okay, if there are only two vectors in R3, then this theorem do not say whether they are independent or dependent. We have to check. Okay, but if there are four vectors in R3, definitely by this theorem, okay, the set will be linearly dependent. So let us take say one example. Say let you have a vector u, v, w and z, and each vector has three entries. So these vectors belongs to R3 space. Okay, u is in R3, v is in R3, w is in R3, z also in R3. R the set uv, okay, of two vectors, is the set of uw, uz, vw, set vz or set wz, are each these linearly independent. Okay, so if there are two vectors and there are three, we have to check. Okay, so if there are two vectors, then there is a result that they will be dependent if either u is a multiple of v or v is a multiple of u. So you can clearly see that u is not a multiple of v, okay, and v is not a multiple of u. Okay, so clearly this set uv is linearly independent. Similarly you check u with w. Okay, so u is not a multiple of w, w is not a multiple of u. Okay, so clearly it is independent. Similarly u and z, you can check they are not multiple of each other, it is independent. In fact this first part, each set is a linearly independent because the vector first is not multiple of second and second is not a multiple of first. Okay, so yes, each set is linearly independent. In each case neither vector is a multiple of the other. Okay, now is the set of vectors u, v, w, z linearly dependent or not? Okay, so clearly now you have four vectors and entry in each vector is 3. Okay, so you have more vectors than the entry in each vector. So by theorem this set is definitely linearly dependent set. Okay, yes, set this is linearly dependent. There are more vectors, 4 here in this case, than entries, 3 in each vector. Okay, and also you can check. Okay, you can write a matrix with first column, second column, third column, fourth column, and in the fifth column you can write the 0 vector, and then you reduce it to equivalent form. So even if you get pivot position at 1 1 2 2 and 3 3, then this fourth column will become free column. Okay, or you get pivot column position at 1 1, then at 2 3 and then 3 4, then second column will be free column. Okay, or non pivot column. So in fact there will be at least one non pivot column, there can be two also. Okay, but at least one non-pivot column, and so this set is definitely going to be linearly dependent set. I take one last example here. Determine if the columns of the matrix are linearly independent. Now the columns of the matrix will be linearly independent by definition if there is at least one non-pivot column in this. Okay, so we just reduce this to the equivalent form, or you can solve the corresponding homogeneous equation and reduce it to equivalent form to see if any one of these column is a non-pivot column. If it is there, then it becomes dependent. If all columns are pivot columns, then it is linearly independent. Okay, so let us say solve the homogeneous system and write the augmented matrix A is 0. So A is 3 by 3 and 0 is the 0 vector, and reduce it to equivalent form. Okay, so in the first row first element is 0, but below there are non-zero numbers. Okay, so this first 1 1 position has to be the leading element of first row. Okay, so we have to interchange row 1 with row 2 or row 1 with row 3. So here hopefully we are interchanging first two rows, okay, making this element as the leading element. Okay, and now we have to use this element to make this element at 3 1 position 0. So apply row 3 minus 3 times row 1 impact on row 3. Okay, so row 3 minus 5 times row 1 impact on row 3 to make this element 0. Okay, so 5 minus 5, okay, goes 0. 8 minus 5 times 2, so 8 minus 10 is minus 2, and 0 minus 5 times minus 1, so plus 5. Okay, and so then in the second row this becomes our leading element. Okay, so we have to make this position as 0, so apply row 3 plus 2 times row 2 impact on third row. So first second row remains same. Okay, and this element becomes 0, and this 5 plus 2 times 4, so this becomes 13. So now it is a echelon form. You can clearly see there is a leading element, and third row also leading element. So these three are our pivot positions. So first, second, and third column are pivot columns. Okay, so every column of matrix A becomes a pivot column. So clearly this set is a linearly independent set. Okay, so the columns of matrix A are linearly independent. Okay, clearly there are three basic variables and no free variable. Remember, basic variables are linked with pivot columns and free variable linked with non-pivot column. Okay, so there is no free variable because there is no non-pivot column. Okay, so the equation has only trivial solution. Okay, so this equation will be satisfied only for x0. Okay, and so the columns of A are linearly independent columns. Okay, so this was about linear independence and dependence of vectors. Okay, again you have to remember, okay, that we are solving a homogeneous system to find independence dependence. Okay, and if there is a trivial solution, that means all columns of A are pivot columns, we have linear independence. If there is a non-trivial solution or there is a free variable, then we have a linearly dependence relation. Okay, so we'll continue with our next lecture now, which will be about linear transformation of vectors. Okay, till then you take care and have a very nice day.